Everybody, John here from All Miniatures Great and Small. Today we're going to be taking a look at World War III Team Yankee. This is the BMP Motor Rifle Battalion for the Warsaw Pact. It is the second of two Warsaw Pact starter sets that Battlefront has released in conjunction with the new Warsaw Pact book. So it's kind of exciting to have this more options for a starting force. So the first box, you might want to check out that video. I published it earlier. I'll put a link up in the description below. Covered the T-72 tank battalion, and this is the BMP. So this is an interesting box. I picked it up, one, because I wanted to have a Warsaw Pact force. Two, a lot of these things I don't have in my collection in great numbers. And I'll talk a little bit about that later, but let's take a look at the box. We have quite a few vehicles here. Let's flip it over to see what we get in the box. So we get everything you see here, 9 BMP-1 or BMP-2 fighting vehicles, so you can build them either way. 9 assault rifle teams, 6 RPG-7 teams, 5 T-55 AM2 tanks, 2 BRDMs that you can build as either the Gaskin AA or the Spandrel anti-tank version, or you can just build them as the Recon. I did find in the T-72 box that technically you could build these top pieces and just swap them out fairly easily so that you could play them however you want. And then we have 2 Su25 Frogfoot, flight stands, a rule book, start here booklet, and 36 unit cards. A lot of unit cards because it has the unit cards for the different nations in the Warsaw Pact. All right, let's go ahead and open it up. I always like opening these up, admiring how Battlefront packs that. Oh, look at that, it's awesome. We have the infantry. We'll pull that out, set it to the side, and let's kind of get all this goodness out of here. We have the starting. All right, so that's everything. All right, we have the start here booklet. We'll take a look at that. We have lots and lots of plastic. This looks like the 9 BMPs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And it does have the equipment to make either BMP 1s or 2s. And if I remember right, you could build the tops and possibly swap them out on the fly if you want. Then we've got tank commanders. We'll put that with the infantry. We have the plastic kits for the Su25. And then we've got the 5 T-55 tanks and the 2 BRDM recon vehicles. Another Team Yankee rule book to add to the stack. I always mention it. Oh, there's the instruction on how to assemble the Su25. These are great to have if you're ever at a local game store playing and someone's watching. You can always just offer to give them a rule book. It's a great way to introduce someone to the game because really you tend to collect a lot of these if you play a lot of Team Yankee. All right, so we're going to take a little bit closer look at the plastic and then see what else we've got. Okay, the first kit we're going to look at is the T-55 AM. This is a pretty neat kit. It is stamped 2017, so it's been around for about 5 years, but it really shows some of that good, Battlefront quality that is really nice. Having built the contents of the T-72 battalion, it also came with 5 of these same exact models. So I have already built these, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. So nothing too complicated here. You can see the nice detail on the frame, the tread detail. I mean, really nice models. This is the only model that is common to both of the Warsaw Pact starter sets. The T-72 tank battalion comes with 5, and there are 5 in here, which is actually nice if you purchase both, because then you've got 10 T-55s, which is, I believe, the max you can put in a single company. So you could have a unit of 10 of these running around. Really nice and affordable way to do it in the starter boxes. But you get 10 of them. They come up as really nice tanks. At the once we show you the plastic, we'll come back and show you the some of the assembled models. Probably not all of them, but give you my thoughts on the assembly process. All right, next we'll look at the BRDM. Now this is also a 2017 stamped frame. These go together real easy. They're real simple. They have all the parts for the AA, for the anti-tank, and for the regular recon version. It's very nice that we have those because we can swap the tops out like I mentioned earlier. So if you're fighting someone with no air, you might as well not take the AA version, etc. Okay, but very nice. I mean, I like the model. It goes together well, and really nothing to complain about. Again, I guess this model also has commonality with the T-72 battalion starter box. You get 2 of them in there, which is again really nice because now I can combine that into 4. So I could have 4 recon or 2 each of the AA or anti-tank, or 4 AA. There's lots of different ways you can break them up, but having 4 is really nice. For Soviets, I consider 4 to be a minimum size platoon for sure. But again, that's another common one. So the T-55 and this are in the T-72 starter box. All right, and you get 2 of those. And then next up we have the BMP frame. So this is BMP 1 and 2, not the BMP 3, the more advanced one. This frame is from 2015. So it's a little bit older. But it's pretty nice. Now, I had built a box of these way back in the day, and if I remember right, I left basically the hull top loose and just set it on the body. And I'll see if that works and show you guys later, but so that you could swap out either BMP 1s or BMP 2s. And being a 2015 kit, this is the, I think, oldest model in the box. But we can see, some of that really nice detail. The detail is pretty good. I mean, I like it. And I'm glad I do, because you get 9 of these in the box, which is pretty cool. All right, then we've got the Su25 model. So this is plastic. I do not own any Su25s, so these will be the first ones I have. I believe these are probably the Academy model, repackaged, but don't hold me to it. I built the fitter out of the other box. That one came with 2 Su-22 fitters. This comes with a couple of Su-25 frog foots. And, it went together well. I'm assuming this one will go together just as easily, but we'll build one and give you our thoughts more towards the end of the video. Next up we have the traditional Soviet tank commander sprues. Nothing new there. Those might even be the same ones from the World War II sprues. And then we've got the Soviet infantry, which is on kind of this soft plastic. I don't know if you can see some of that detail. Looks pretty good. Lots of the same pose on that one. Oh, here you go. Here's a different one with some RPGs, it looks like. So you get all kinds of cool stuff. Some advancing guys. I have no Soviet infantry, so this is the first Soviet infantry I have. And I'm kind of looking forward to adding them to my army because I really haven't had them before. All right, then we've got the unit cards. And the decals. That is going to be for the Su25s. And then these are the standard, looks like the standard Soviet numbering decal sheet, just like the one that they had in the T-72 box. All right. Then we've got, oh, I guess I'm holding that upside down. Polish force list, East German, Czech, and Soviet. And then we have versions of the unit cards for, you know, each one. It does have the Soviet cards. That's cool. And then I guess these are. So there you go. So it has unit cards for all of the factions, which is really nice. That's a nice touch. I'm sure these cards aren't necessarily cheap to make, but we've got them. We've got the decals, which is very nice. Oh, I forget, I wanted to check, did the box mention the decals? No. So again, I went on a minor rant at the with the T-72 box set too, that including decals is a big perk for me. So you know, you should get the credit, Battlefront, and put that on your contents, make people happy. All right, then the last thing we're going to look at is the Start Here booklet. This is always handy. It's got the assembly instructions, and you can kind of see how these tops, I don't think they share any pieces, so I think you can build both of them. But again, like I said, we'll find out for sure. Then we have the T-72, the T-55, BRDM. They have, oh, they actually put the instructions for the Su-25 in the booklet, which is cool. Your new army. So even though this box runs, I think, about 110 US retail, because Soviets can be so cheap in the game that what you're getting in the box here is, you know, not a ton of points. So the whole contents of this box only equals 30 points. The T-72M box only nets you 50 points. So even with those two boxes, you're not reaching 100 points. Now maybe you could take them as upgrades or different ways to make them a little bit more pricey, but I don't think you're going to be able to squeeze much out. For example, this recommends you make 4 of them BMP2s and 4 of them BMP1s, but if you made both of these platoons BMP2s, you really only get a couple of extra points to spend. Yeah, so that's just, I mean, that's not a ding against Battlefront. That's just kind of like you're choosing a horde army, and just by its nature, a horde army is going to be more expensive than an elite army with much fewer models on the table. There are ways to play the Soviets elite. You could take the T-80 shock company with the T-80 tanks and the BMP-3s. Those eat up points very quickly. Or you can go the horde approach, or, you know, a mix. And that's one of the really nice things about this game, is that you can do that. You have lots and lots of options, and this is a great way to start it. All right, there you go, guys. We are going to build some of the models, and then we'll be back. I've built some of the models, and I'm here now to give you kind of my experience of it. So let's start with the least fun, and that was this guy right here, the Su25 model. It is, it's a plastic model kit. It's not a wargaming miniature, and it is not a very good one. Now, it might be its age. I don't know how old this kit is. You know, it could be recent. It could be a 30-year-old plastic model. it's hard to tell, but the main problems are kind of the seams. The two halves that clamp together aren't the best, and I had to use some clip binders to keep it all smushed together as it was drying. But then the wings go in, and the stabilizers just kind of not very positively. They just kind of slide in. There is a tab, but you have to make sure as it's drying it keeps the right angle, and even then I think one of my tails is a little wonky. So overall, I didn't do the wing stores because I didn't know exactly how I wanted to do the weapons. I just wanted to get a feeling of it. It's not bad or necessarily a hard build, but you do have to be careful to get a nice result. Otherwise, there's just going to be seams for days and gaps and things like that. And that's just kind of the artifact of using these model kits from other manufacturers. I know originally these were in resin, Battlefront resin, those models. I never built one, so I can't really compare the experience of building the resin versus this, except I know the resin comes in fewer pieces, but Battlefront resin sometimes has its own issues. So, not bad, not, nothing too bad. I wouldn't necessarily be looking forward to building 6 of those. 2 is quite enough for me. Now, on to the BMP, and what I thought is true. It's very easy to kind of swap these out. So you have the BMP 1 top and the BMP 2 top, and then you have the hull, which actually has some tabs. I don't know if you can see those tabs, but these things just fit really, really nicely on there, and it's on there. I use the peg so the turret would fall off if I shake it like that. But yeah, it looks nice, and then it just pops off, and you want to run some BMP 2s. I don't know necessarily I'm going to paint all of the tops to be for the BMP 1s and the BMP 2s, but I might have enough BMP 1 tops so that I could do a platoon of each, kind of like the starter box suggests. But again, really, that top's not going anywhere. So really nice feature. The molding, the detail is really nice. Everything kind of slapped together. The only thing I don't like is the fiddly bits, the smoke launchers. These older Team Yankee kits, the Soviet ones, the smoke launchers are just annoying. There's no click or positive feedback that you've got the smoke launcher in the right place, so you just kind of eyeball it with, I know there's like a little divot under there, but anyway, it's not bad, but it's just the newer kits have handled smoke launchers much better, and I might not even put smoke launchers on my other BMP 2s because those pieces are so fiddly. But anyway, but it builds up into a nice looking tank, right? So I like it. And then I accidentally knocked the rocket launcher off here. It must not have had time to dry all the way, but this is the scout car, the BRDM, whatever. But anyway, it can take the, make it the scout car version, make it the anti-aircraft version, or as I originally had it, the anti-tank missile version. Just kind of goes there. This is the one that fits the worst just because it doesn't have a peg, and that goes on top there. But otherwise, great kit. I love that, again, Battlefront is good enough to give us that flexibility so that we can have whichever version we want, and that's pretty cool without having to buy multiple copies. Then we have the T55. This model is really nice to build. I can see some of that detail. And this is a little bit older kit. It's newer kit compared to these ones, and I think it shows. It's like a generation of improvement. Not that there's anything necessarily wrong with those, but Battlefront just kept getting better and better with these, so that's pretty cool. So there you go. I didn't assemble any infantry because there's nothing to assemble. You just glue them into the stands. But these models were a lot of fun, so I liked it. The only experience that wasn't the best was the Su25, and even then, yeah, it's doable. All right, guys, there you go. That is a look at the BMP Motor Rifle Battalion for the Warsaw Pact. I'm not sure how I'm going to paint these guys. Probably just boring old Soviet green. I know some of the Warsaw Pact nations have some interesting camo, but I'd like to be able to keep this so I could use it for any force, Russian or any of the Warsaw Pact, and kind of play it that way. So I don't know, maybe when I get into the painting groove I might try some camo, but right now probably not. But on the plus side, you might have some cool battle reports featuring these guys in the future. Of course, I'm going to have a lot of this stuff on the painting table to get done before then. All right, again, so I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please do consider giving us a like and subscribe. Click that bell to receive notification when we release new content. You can always let us know down in the comments what you think about this kit versus the T-72B. Personally, I think if you're getting started in Warsaw Pact, head towards that T-72 starter box first. This is a nice supplement to that, but with the number of points you get in this box, I don't think it's a good core formation yet, unless you are you know, dead set on running BMP companies. All right, there you go. I hope you enjoyed this. Oh, also please know YouTube recently activated super thanks, so if you want to help support the channel, you can do that through super thanks in the chat. Any thanks would be appreciated, and we always are thankful. So there you go, guys. Thanks again, and keep on wargaming.